Yoga University, co-powered by Sera.
3, 2, 1, 0. Plus 5 seconds.
Lift off normal.
Historic space moment for the country. Chandrayaan 3 mission lifts off from the Satish Dhawan Space Center in Sriharikota.
Congratulations, India. Chandrayaan 3 has started its journey towards moon.
The journey to the moon has begun. India's third moon mission to attempt a soft landing on the lunar surface happens on August the 23rd. India soars with pride as the Indian Tri-Services conduct the march at the Bastille Day parade and Rafales fly high in the skies in Paris. Conferred with France's highest award, the Prime Minister attends the Bastille Day parade as a chief guest. Delegation-level talks expected soon. There is no relief for the national capital. 3 lives are lost in Delhi. Floods in the last few hours. Several key roads and areas still underwater.
सारा पानी दिल्ली की तरफ डाइवर्ट किया गया है, कोई भी पानी यूपी की साइड नहीं छोड़ा गया।
That is the Aam Aadmi Party alleging a conspiracy behind the Delhi floods. They say water was released specifically to Delhi as a revenge because the BJP lost the elections here. Hello and a very good evening. You're watching The Burning Question and I'm Deepthi Sachdeva. The floods in Delhi is no news anymore. The only silver lining is that for the last 4 days at least, we haven't seen much of rain in the national capital. But we have seen a good amount of political showdown, blame game, and something that has gone very, very low today. Remember when netas start looking for excuses, when they start giving alibis, when they start pointing fingers at everyone else but themselves? We think something is horribly wrong. And more so for a party that has a history. Whether it was during COVID, whether this was during, the monsoon rains and waterlogging as we have seen in the previous years, to even issues of pollution. They've always found someone to be blamed. The party has zero ideology, one must say this, because this is a party that only and only looks at vote bank, at convenience, at propaganda, at throwing in allegations. You might think I am biased, but the point is, as a Delhi voter today, you feel challenged. Is there absolutely no solution to what's been happening in the national capital? And like I said, the only silver lining, ladies and gentlemen, is that the city has not seen rains. And we are keeping our fingers crossed. Because just in case it begins to rain in the national capital, just think of all those people today who do not have a home, who are staying on the footpath or in relief camps. They have no water to drink. They clearly have no food right now on their table, on their lap. A lot of people are without electricity. And one would think whether it is the Aam Aadmi Party, that's an elected government in the national capital, or even the LG through the centre, would be trying to ensure we never see images like these in the national capital. But that has not happened. Now, this particular image that you see on your screens, a lot of them, remember, have been coming in from iconic areas like the Rajghat, like the Supreme Court, like the ITO area. Now, it's hard to believe that this is our national capital, the capital of the country, the seat of power. The Aam Aadmi Party that has handsomely won elections here is once again looking at alibis. In fact, they've tweeted a particular video, and I'm just requesting our team to put out that video. That is an purported video by the Aam Aadmi Party. That's a caveat. I just put it out. Now, what they say is that they have a team of their karyakartas who go to the Hatnikund barrage. Now, this, remember, is in Haryana. And these karyakartas are trying to go around and they try to show that most of the water that has come in uphill from the state of Himachal in particular, that again has been badly affected, is deliberately being pushed into the national capital. And on the other side, they try to move towards the exit and the canal towards Saharanpur in Uttar Pradesh, and they allege that that part of the canal is dry. And the idea is to ensure that all the water just flows to the national capital. Why? Because the Aam Aadmi Party alleges that this is a manufactured flood. This is orchestrated. This is revenge flood by the BJP on the people of Delhi. Now, like I said, it's not the first time they are cooking up this entire alibi. The BJP on the other side says, give yourself a reality check. You're a chief minister. You absolutely cannot run away from responsibility. So we do not know which side is right, which side is wrong, which is lying and which is not. But it's important to ask that again key question that Republic has been asking for the last many days. Who's responsible? Is anyone even accountable in the national capital? The story first up, that is full of allegations, charges, innuendos, and then the debate.
As you can see behind me, that's the main gate of Rajghat, and the entire Rajghat inside and outside is completely submerged in water. If you see me, I am myself waist deep in this water outside Rajghat. We don't know further if there's any manhole or if there's any sewer line, because you know the people who don't know how to swim, the situation could be very worrisome for them.
With rain causing havoc in the national capital, Delhi is crippled. The mighty Yamuna has breached danger levels and 3 children have lost their lives after drowning in flood water. But the politics is only escalating. The Aam Aadmi Party, holding the charge of the national capital, alleged water was released as a conspiracy by Haryana.
हरियाणा सरकार इसका मेंटेनेंस करती है, लेकिन चूंकि दिल्ली में उनका कोई इंटरेस्ट नहीं है, इसके बाद इसकी कार्रवाई चालू करेंगे कि अगर वो हमें दे दें, हम उनसे निवेदन करेंगे कि हमें ही दे दें ताकि हम इसका मेंटेनेंस करें। बताते हैं कि हरियाणा से कई बार रिक्वेस्ट की है, लेकिन हुआ नहीं, तो इस बार जब ये आफत आई है तो हरियाणा से इस बार कहा जाएगा कि भाई देखो इस बार इतनी आफत आई, अब आप मान जाओ, आप दे दो।
जहाँ तक पानी छोड़ने की बात है, ये हमने केजरीवाल जी को बताया भी है कि ये पानी वहाँ बैराज है, वो कोई डैम नहीं है। डैम पर पानी को रोका जाता है, बैराज पर पानी रोका नहीं जाता है। बैराज पर तो एक सीमा में उसको थोड़ी मात्रा में रेगुलेट कर सकते हैं। यमुनानगर जिला हो, करनाल जिला हो, पानीपत है अथवा सोनीपत है, उसके बाद जाके दिल्ली की बारी आती है। तो हम स्वयं भी प्रभावित हैं, उनको इस प्रकार का विषय नहीं रखना चाहिए कि पानी ज्यादा छोड़ा गया है।
The war of words was not just limited to Twitter. It was a face-off in the middle of the streets even as the leaders took stock of situation. Roads inundated, hospitals flooded, but the political slugfest between the ruling AAP and the BJP continues. Is this what the taxpayers deserve? Bureau Report, Republic TV.
And the irony, ladies and gentlemen, is that just today, India has successfully moved the Chandrayaan 3. So India is aiming for the moon. We are talking of smart cities. But what are our netas doing? Political blame game, failing all of us. But it's important to ask questions like we always do here on The Burning Question. As I say, good evening to Harish Khurana of the BJP, Romesh Sabarwal, the member of the AICC with us right now, and also Hakeem Rizwan Ilahi, who's a political analyst. He leans towards the AAP. And Hakeem, my first question is to you. If the BJP has to have answers to everything and anything in the national capital, why do we need the Delhi chief minister? People must just vote for the BJP, or you must let the BJP have that ordinance and at least you will have one point person in Delhi that we can ask questions of and seek accountability.
No, first of all, we need to understand what you're calling is a political blame game. We are not the ones who are just blaming, the opposition. We are here saying that it's a bad time for the people of Delhi and the other states as well, where these flash floods have happened. So, talking about the Delhi CM Arvind Kejriwal, he has done his role. And the kind of flood, the magnitude of this, flash floods is something which couldn't have been controlled to any extent. But preventions are there, which Aam Aadmi Party is doing pretty well in Delhi. All the ministers, all the cabinet, everybody is on the roads. Everybody is working. All the departments are working in order to stabilize the situation in Delhi. But
Hakeem, I do not know whether you have a television set next to you. You're telling us we are doing it pretty well. No, one second, Hakeem. What we'll also do is, on our screens, we'll continuously play the images that have come in from the national capital. And then you tell me, before giving yourself a pat on the back, whether that is good. And just in the last few hours, for your information, 3 teenagers have lost their lives in the Mukundpur area of the national capital. Why? Because, these were teenagers out there just having fun. There was stagnated water. They didn't realize that this is going to, lead to their death. Who today is responsible for them?
No, hello. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. Yes. Hakeem, can you hear us?
Can you hear me?
They can't answer, ma'am. They
We
don't have any
can.
answer.
I just thought there is a conspiracy to ensure that you don't speak up. And you will allege that Republic is putting out a conspiracy so that your voice is not heard. Hakeem, tell me something. Who's responsible for these 3 lives lost?
First of all, see, this is a national calamity which was converted into a manufactured calamity by the Bharatiya Janata Party, because we have known it since for the longest time.
Do you have the proof?
That how Bharatiya Janata Party
what the Aam Aadmi Party has done, Romesh ji, and I'm just coming to you and Harish Khurana in a moment. But I have to ask Hakeem this. Hakeem, the point is, for time immemorial, for the longest time today, the AAP is a national party. Tell me something. For everything you have blamed people. Shoot and scoot politics is what the AAP is famous for. Do you have a proof to show that this is manufactured?
We have been known for the development.
Shameless.
We have been known for helping the downtrodden people of India. That's what we have been known for.
And Romesh Sabarwal of the Congress is saying this is shameless. He's saying this is shameless, Hakeem. And that's a sentiment, I think, being shared by a lot of Delhi citizens tonight.
In Noida.
No. Let me tell you this.
Yes, sir.
The
Noida, there is more water, more flood than Delhi also.
Everything has happened there.
These people are politicalizing.
So it has a
They have no sympathy for Delhiites.
It has
They're
come
all
from
outsiders.
Himachal Pradesh towards Haryana and then towards Delhi. And it could have been saved. It could have been prevented. This flood could have been prevented.
How do you know this? That's what I'm saying. Okay, now that you've made that charge, you've also put out that video that has allegedly been tweeted by all of your ministers. So we'll just keep that video also on our screens. And I am putting out that rider that's a video and an allegation by the Aam Aadmi Party. Hakeem, I have to let Harish Khurana ji respond. So Harish Khurana ji, why do you hate the people of Delhi that you're ensuring that there is a manufactured flood as the Aam Aadmi Party alleges? Is this your revenge politics?
See, Aam Aadmi Party is in habit of telling lies to the country and to Delhi. They are not for the first time they have done this. And Hakeem is saying that everything is already
in Delhi. Sir, could you be please a bit louder?
Today, 3 children have died and he's saying everything is all right. I'm surprised. I'm surprised to hear that. Coming back to the allegation made by Aam Aadmi Party, I'm surprised that they don't know. My Chief Minister of Delhi is my Chief Minister also. He's an IIT passed out. He don't know what is the meaning of a river and a canal. A river cannot be stopped and a canal, if we have a 1 lakh more cubic water more than that, that those shutter has to be shut down. That's a canal
Sir,
rule.
there were
because
two
it can be
canals.
destroyed.
There were
Hakim,
two
I'm not
canals
interfering in you.
on the eastern
Hakim,
end and the
I'm not
western end.
interfering in you. Hakim, have some decency here. Have some decency. Let me complete now.
Sure,
Allow
sir,
me to
sure.
complete.
Please go ahead.
And yes, on one point, I agree to Hakim. What he said is a manufactured flood. Yes, it is. The reason I'll tell you. On 10th of July, Chief Minister comes into press and says that in 1948, the 78, when the flood comes in, 7 lakh cubic water was being released. But in 2013, 8 lakh water was being was released from Hatnikund. There was no flood. In 2018, 8 lakh 25,000 cubic water being flooded, but no flood was there in Delhi. Now, my question from Aam Aadmi Party is, this time, 3,69,000 cubic water was being released from Hatnikund. Why there was so much mess? Why there is this flood in Delhi today? Why the people are suffering today? The answer is very much clear. Because of the corruption
Sir, it
only.
was not
Hakim, respond to that quickly before I get into Ramesh also.
Let me tell you.
Quickly,
Sir,
Hakim.
there were two canals which was on the eastern and the western canal. The water was not released in those two canals. While as
no, you know what? I think the Aam Aadmi Party could be wanting to set a narrative. So Harish Khurana ji and Hakim, give me a moment. Let me also listen into what the Congress says. 1 second. Let's, because listen into the Congress has also ruled Delhi for the longest time.
He's interfering. He's interfering. Let me complete.
Yes, exactly. No, Harish ji, I've understood your moot point. I'm going to come back to you. Let me ask Ramesh Sabarwal ji who he believes today is responsible. Now, Ramesh Sabarwal ji, who today is playing politics here? Do you believe these are manufactured floods and who's to be blamed?
Where is Modi ji? Where is Modi ji? My question is, where is he?
No.
रुकिए ना, अरे दिल्ली के चीफ मिनिस्टर तो इज अरविंद केजरीवाल only, no? Day in and day night, Modi is all that you do.
He went to France.
Hakim,
don't we have the right to ask?
Then people will elect the BJP. No, there is a reason why you have the Aam Aadmi Party government in Delhi.
Ma'am.
Ramesh ji.
They behave like a Britishers, you know. Ma'am, the Prime Minister of India should intervene. He should call a meeting immediately of UP CM, Haryana CM and Delhi Lieutenant Governor. Because the more water is in Noida also. The BJP cannot do this. I don't believe that. It's a shameless allegation. And there should be an inquiry into this. Supreme Court should do an inquiry or the CBI inquiry. Why this blame game is going on. This is not a manufactured. Because otherwise it would not have been the Noida. Noida is more right now flood. My sister-in-law is staying there. I went yesterday to rescue her. There are 15 feet water in their houses. These people, they don't know what's happening. The Prime Minister of India should intervene immediately. I appeal from your at the time of 1978, Indira ji went on the roads. There should be a spirit. The Prime Minister, the Home Minister, they should call the Water Resources Minister.
I don't know.
Accountability.
I have an innocent question.
LG of Delhi.
We'll also get an Akil Khan.
Chief Minister must resign.
He also leans towards the AAP. Ramesh ji, what about the responsibility of the Aam Aadmi Party?
Shameless people. They don't know how to
Why isn't LG doing anything?
They don't know how to.
On one hand, they are carrying out the ordinance. They want to. He was seen showing pictures, throughout Delhi that he has been working for the Delhi.
You want to loot
and
Delhi?
Now, when it's the time of floods, why isn't he taking the responsibility?
Transfer posting.
See what the Congress is saying. Hakim, they realize that if you do this and the way you're going on in the national capital, you'll end up losing. You'll end up losing what many people say is your bastion. Akil Khan.
This is not the time for blame game. Even I believe in that. This is not the time for blame game. This is the time to reach to other people.
But you yourself are indulging in blame game and you're saying this is not the time for blame game.
And help each other in this situation.
Akil Khan, can you hear me?
Must come. Accountability
political blame game.
You will not find all the fight. And there are one Mr. Tiwari who is making nonsense statement, joking statement. And where is Mr. Gambhir? He is not Gambhir at all. Where are they? You see, Arvind Kejriwal 3 days before warned them clearly that right now we don't have any problem with Delhi. No bar situation, and we should take care this about this Harikund barrage. They are doing dirty politics. They are destroying. They don't understand the reality in India. They just want to earn money out of nothing. Delhi is giving lot of money to these bloody politicians. They are not. I'm sorry, this bloody word, but they are not. They are not taking proper care of Delhi.
Please mind your language.
They are not giving any kind of support to Aam Aadmi Party.
No.
I
think this is the problem of the Aam Aadmi Party. You will play victim. When people don't believe you, you will start abusing and name calling.
No, where is the victim?
I have to get Harish Khurana ji to respond to you.
I'm telling you the full story.
Now, Harish Khurana ji, forget the Aam Aadmi Party. The Aam Aadmi Party, like you allege, and the BJP alleges, is a failure. I want to know, what are the 7 members of parliament also doing for Delhi?
That's a very good question to ask.
Can I respond now? If you allow me, Hakim, अगर आप चुप हो जाए 2 मिनट के लिए मैं जवाब दे दूं. Thank you. Ma'am, you can see my all MPs and I'm proudly saying they're on the ground helping the people. But I would like to ask
But they were seen
Hakim,
nowhere.
If you are not social media पे आप नहीं हो तो मुझे कसूर नहीं है. जाके social media check कर लीजिए. I can challenge you. I can challenge you on that. आज भी खाना बांटा है. जाके देख लीजिए.
Khurana ji, this is what people say. All netas are only on the social media.
Let me complete now. We are posting a picture on the social media what we are doing right now. So the people should understand. These kind of people should understand. Point number 1. I would like to ask Hakim right now. Show me one picture of Arvind Kejriwal going in a reef camp and helping the people. Show me one picture. Show me one picture.
Sir, आप मुझे एक बात बताइए, खुराना जी, why is the PM in France? उससे ज़्यादा उसके 5 स्टेट्स जो यहाँ पे हैं, लोग जूझ रहे हैं और उनको फ्रांस जाने की पड़ी है.
Hurdles in the working of Delhi. You see, since not 8 years, we are working very nicely. We are doing all of our
without portfolio CM.
Akil ji, you're saying you're working very nicely. You're saying you're working very nicely.
Madam, tell me.
Please look at the pictures. Arvind Kejriwal, instead of putting the blame on anyone and everyone else, should start taking accountability. If he cannot be the chief minister and take accountability, he should resign.
To listen to Aam Aadmi's elected government of Delhi, they are asking them not to listen. This is
these allegations don't work, no, Akil Khanji. Today, the Arvind Kejriwal government has alleged that all this is manufactured flood. This is all orchestrated. Can you tell me who's manufactured this? Can you put out the proof to say this is manufactured?
You see this?
Yeah, why not? Because there has been loss at Hathnikund, where the water was not, stopped from going to eastern and western canals, and the entire water was diverted towards Delhi.
They are not very serious.
That's where the water has come from. It hasn't rained in Delhi since past 5 days. So where has the water come from? It's not waterlogging. It's a flood.
So if it will rain in Delhi. If it will rain in Delhi, people will go through this. That's what you're telling me, Hakim. And you haven't given me the answer about who's responsible for these 3 teenagers who died in Mukundpur area in Delhi.
Can I rebut, ma'am?
Akil ji, can you tell me who's responsible for these 3 teenagers losing their lives?
It goes on BJP's head. They could have prevented it.
Every citizen of our Delhi and every person who is responsible to make the hindrances in the work, in the relief work.
Who's responsible? You are the ruling government now. Are you forgetting you're not in the opposition anymore?
If we would have the full power, we would have the control on the officers. This situation would not come.
This does not work. You know what? I will tell you why. And Ramesh ji will shed more light on this. A state like Punjab, where you keep alleging that because you do not have full control in Delhi, the law and order situation there is under the question mark. We have seen floods, we have seen the bad situation even in Punjab. So Akhil Khanji, do not try and have an excuse on the show every time a question is asked of you. But Ramesh Sabarwalji, I think what you said is a good note to end this conversation on. You have warned the Aam Aadmi Party that if they do not mend their ways, they will lose the national capital.
He is without portfolio. People have elected him for some responsibility. He is the only chief minister who is without portfolio. Without portfolio, Kejriwal, you must resign. You must quit.
What?
You are resigning.
So the Congress says Arvind Kejriwal must resign. How will you people sit on an opposition unity meeting? No, I don't understand.
Passing on the judgment.
The Aam Aadmi Party want Congress's support on the ordinance. The Congress is alleging that there is zero work done by Arvind Kejriwal, Akhilji and Hakim. That Arvind Kejriwal must resign.
I've seen that recently how people...
I don't know, Akhil Khanji, why are you getting so worked up? Okay.
His Prime Minister is Arvind Kejriwal.
I don't understand why you keep saying Modi, Modi all the time. Why are you too embarrassed to say Kejriwal all the time? Then you must start saying Kejriwal instead of Modi. No, Kejriwal is the Chief Minister of Delhi.
He is not serious and his niyat is bad. He is badniyat. Prime Minister of India, we are very sorry to tell all these things that his niyat is not, his intention is always bad. He is doing all this kind of nonsense.
नहीं रुकिए अखिल खान जी रुकिए. Every question has just one answer for the Aam Aadmi Party, that is Modi. Now Harish Khurana ji, the Prime Minister yesterday had a conversation. He is constantly tracking what's happening in Delhi. He's spoken to the Union Home Minister. The LG has also said that he saw details of the relief and rescue operation. Can you, as in the BJP, tell us how long till the situation normalizes, sir?
See, we should understand where the problem comes in from. Problem comes in from the corruption, you know. You have not desilted the Yamuna and you are blaming others. 3,50,000 cubic water will cause this kind of damage? No, this will not. Problem is this water is not going towards Mathura because of you have not done your homework. A minister who don't know that 5 ITO barrage comes under Haryana government has to be clean and speak to Haryana government before this crisis. Bhagwan Malik hai uska. I pray to the God.
But Harish Khurana ji, what should people of Delhi do now? I want to know what should people of Delhi do right now? Should they wait for this AAP versus the BJP battle to settle down and only then there will be relief?
Pray to the God that no life should not jaan aur na jaye. 3 लोग आज बच्चे मर चुके भगवान से.
We should pray to the God that BJP should never come in power ever again.
देखिए हिंदी में एक वर्ड होता है भगवान भरोसे. I think what Harish Khurana ji is alluding, what the AAP has indicated is everything is Ram Bharose. Is there a chance then for the Congress in the national capital? No one knows, but it's a very, very sorry state of affairs in Delhi. But we'll keep asking those questions and we want to know who today is accountable for this entire deluge and mess that the national capital is in. I thank all of you gentlemen right now for speaking to us and for your time. We quickly head into a break. On the other side, we are back with lots more.
The Amity Law School, ranked among the top 10 in India, educates some of the most brilliant students who get recruited by top law firms and go for higher studies to leading universities like Harvard, Oxford, Cambridge and UCL. To apply, visit amity.edu.
A historic first in India-France relationship. Tri-services contingent will march on Bastille Day. Four Indian Rafales and 2 C-17 Globemasters part of the flypast. Forces first, no compromise.
price of 1 kilo of tomatoes in India today is more than the price of 1 gram of silver. Just 1 kilogram of tomatoes is 40 to 50% his daily wage. That's not feeling the pinch. I don't believe the consumer price index anymore, and we demand a nationwide debate on the subject. I demand public pressure to bring the prices down. I demand the hoarders be caught. I demand accountability by the state and central government.
Hello, welcome. You're watching the Trending Burning Question. We're starting with these latest visuals now coming in from Paris, where in a short while from now, Prime Minister Modi and French President Macron will be having a joint press briefing that should be starting anytime in a short while from now. Prime Minister Modi gets a ceremonial welcome in Paris. Ladies and gentlemen, Prime Minister Narendra Modi is on a 2-day visit to France. In fact, earlier in the day, he was the guest of honor in the Bastille Day celebrations, and he attended the parade. The visit also basically coincides with 25 years of the oldest among India's almost 30 strategic partnerships around the world. These are the latest visuals that are now coming in. We'll try and go across to our senior executive editor, Abhishek Kapoor, who is joining us on this broadcast. Abhishek, we're expecting that joint press briefing to start anytime now.
Would be followed by the press statements, we are told, Shawan, because most of the MOUs are agreed upon, and then there would be delegation level talks. So that bit of a tweak there in the sequence of events. First, the ceremonial. Initially, after this, originally after the ceremonial, it was delegation level talks and then the press statements. But it seems that the reason we tried to find out why this has been done, and we are told that the two leaders wanted to be done with the press statements. They did not want a deadline to be set for their delegation level talks, and that's why that's why this change of sequence has been done. And the reason is that the two leaders want to spend quality time discussing the future roadmap of India-France strategic partnership over the next 25 years, and that's and they want both a restricted format conversation where just the two leaders would be sitting across, and then the delegation, the respective delegations would be joining. So that's how it's going to be, and we are waiting in these pictures with the guards there at the Elysee Palace, where the delegation talks are going to happen, waiting for the Prime Minister to arrive. We have seen him having a long day of engagements that began with the Bastille Day parade, where he was the chief guest, and then he met those thought leaders from France, including Thomas Pesquet, who is an astronaut who earned some celebrity in India. Shawan, remember, sending in those pictures from the International Space Station of Mumbai city during the night, and the river Brahmaputra, among other things. And he has spoken highly of the Prime Minister. Thomas Pesquet is essentially an aerospace engine and commercial pilot who went to the International Space Station as part of the French team, and he is regarded as sort of a role model in the field of space exploration. And apart from Thomas Pesquet, Prime Minister also met Lina Nair. She is the group CEO of Chanel, and she happens to be the first CEO from outside the original owner family of Chanel, which is the Wertheimer family, and she happens to be of Indian origin. And there was exchange of ideas, thoughts happened, and Lina Nair has spoken about that. Then Prime Minister also met Charlotte Chopin, and she's a 100-year-old yoga practitioner from France, and she's actually known as the yoga granny in France. And she spent some time with the Prime Minister, and I believe now we are getting those pictures. These are early pictures, in fact, of Prime Minister meeting the French Prime Minister Elisabeth Borne and other leaders from the French government. And these pictures are from early in the day, from the Bastille Day parade, where Prime Minister was received by President Macron, and there was an Indian Tri-Services contingent that participated. We have just got the pictures of IAF's Rafales making a fly past, even as Indian contingent of an Army, Navy, Air Force, and you see that in the pictures now, doing their march past from in front of the Place de la Concorde, where the VIP enclosure or the dais is, where the guests were sitting. And we are waiting for the Prime Minister to arrive, I believe, in a while. And these pictures essentially offer the ceremonial welcome that is to be accorded. Remember, this is going to be the second ceremonial welcome. In fact, one was given right at the Orly airport when Prime Minister landed in Paris yesterday. And in fact, he was received by Prime Minister of France and by some senior members. Also, apart from Prime Minister, some senior members of the French government, of the cabinet. And now it seems everything is ready, and he should be arriving anytime now with the arrangements in place. We are seeing some movement there. It seems the delegation is out, and yes, Emmanuel Macron there, standing in position to receive the Prime Minister. The ceremony has begun. We can cut to the net sounds coming in from Elysee Palace.
Well, in fact, Prime Minister Modi has now arrived. President Macron receiving the Prime Minister. The delegation talks would be happening in a short while from now. Before that, as Abhishek was pointing out, the joint press briefing would be taking place. Ladies and gentlemen, what you're essentially witnessing right now is that this is just not mere optics between two leaders, but the fact that this is an embodiment of the relationship that exists between both the nations. Many would say that there is a remarkable resonance in the strategic outlook of both the nations. And let's not forget about the fact that at various critical junctures, we have essentially witnessed France standing with India, and especially when we have seen where India was being sidelined by the West for the longest time, it was France who stood with India. And that is one of the reasons why you would see that there is a clear understanding between both the nations when it comes to various issues and what it is expected from each other. In fact, let me also quickly go across to our guests who are joining us on this broadcast while we stay with these visuals. Ambassador Veena Sikri is joining us on this broadcast along with Rabinder Sachdev, Global Strategist, President of Imagine India Institute, joining us from the National Capital. Ambassador Sikri, if I can come to you, as I was pointing out, that while France and India, of course, they are on different continents, there is a remarkable resonance in the strategic outlook. And one needs to understand that unlike what happens in the case of India-US relationship, where, of course, there are strings attached, as far as France and India is concerned, the relationship comes basically without any strings, no strings attached, as many would say. Witnessing also on various occasions, be it the defense deals that have been signed in the past. These are the latest visuals coming in. Ambassador, while you help us understand the relationship of both the nations, we'll stay with these latest visuals now coming in. In a short while from now, both the leaders would be addressing.
Yeah, well, I think that the visit of Prime Minister Modi to Paris at this particular time is extremely significant. And it's very important to see how this visit has evolved as a strong combination of symbolism and substance. Now, that is very significant because, there are some visits which are purely just symbolic and there's not much substance. But this has got every honor that could be bestowed on our Prime Minister by the government of France is right there. I mean, he's receiving the Grand Cross of the Legion of Honor, is something the highest honor given by France to any individual. And it's been given to our Prime Minister, the first Indian Prime Minister to receive it. It's the equivalent of the Bharat Ratna in India. And I think that it says a lot about the high esteem in which the President of France, Emmanuel Macron, holds our Prime Minister. There's a great, strong personal rapport between the two leaders. There may be a difference in their age, but there's a great rapport between them. And this I think, comes from a understanding. For one thing, France is very imbued with its own civilizational heritage. And this is very important for France, the heritage, the way things were done in the past, what is the significance for today, and so on. And so they understand a person like Prime Minister Modi, who feels very strongly about India's civilizational heritage and bringing the respect and realization of that civilizational heritage among the people of India. So this is, I think, a good starting point for the relationship between the two ministers.
Ambassador, I'm sorry to interrupt you. The press briefing is expected to start now.
Monsieur le Premier ministre, cher Narendra, mesdames et messieurs les ministres, mesdames et messieurs les ambassadeurs et ambassadrices, mesdames et messieurs, vous nous faites l'immense honneur de votre présence un 14 juillet qui nous rappelle les racines de notre partenariat stratégique dont nous célébrons cette année le 25e anniversaire. Il y a un peu plus d'un siècle, en 1916, c'est aussi au cœur de Paris, sur ces mêmes Champs-Élysées.
साल में जब हम अपने 25वें वर्षगांठ को मान रहे हैं, एक शतक पहले 1900 में पेरिस के बीच में ही भारत के सैनिक दस्ते हमारे सैनिकों के साथ आगे चले थे और वो हमारे साथ ट्रेंचों में, खाइयों में और विश्व युद्ध के सारे मोर्चों पर लड़े थे कंधे में लाकर। और बहुत ही गर्व हुआ आज पंजाब रेजिमेंट को यहाँ पर देखकर पेरिस के दिल में। हम एक ऐतिहासिक विश्वास के आधार पर आगे बढ़ रहे हैं और हम वैश्विक चुनौतियों का साथ समाधान ढूंढ सकते हैं और जो G20 के शिखर वार्ता में उसकी कार्यसूची में होंगे। हम चाहते हैं कि जो अंतर्राष्ट्रीय समुदाय है उसका खंडन के जोखिम से अपनी दुनिया को बचाए और इसलिए हमने पेरिस एजेंडा और नया वित्तीय वैश्विक कॉम्पैक्ट पर इकट्ठे काम किया है। हम आपने सितंबर में जो दुनिया के राष्ट्राध्यक्ष होंगे, जो हेड्स ऑफ स्टेट और गवर्नमेंट होंगे, उनको आमंत्रित किया है और हम सब चाहते हैं कि एक ऐसे अंतर्राष्ट्रीय व्यवस्था का स्थापना हो जो शांति और विकास की ओर हमें ले जाए। मुझे बहुत गर्व हुआ था जब 2018 में मैंने आपके साथ अंतर्राष्ट्रीय सौर गठबंधन की स्थापना की थी और हम चाहते हैं कि बिजली का उत्पादन 2030 तक 1000 गीगावाट का हो और हमने आपके पिछले जो यात्रा थी उसके दौरान भी हमने एक नया पहल शुरू किया था प्लास्टिक से संघर्ष का। तो ये जो दो उदाहरण हैं वो दर्शाते हैं कि हम अगर इकट्ठे काम करें तो हम सारे क्षेत्रों में नई संरचना बना सकते हैं, ना सिर्फ जहां युद्ध से बचने के लिए। पर G20 COP28 और जो संयुक्त राष्ट्र के समुद्र पर सम्मेलन होने जा रहा है नीस में 2025 में, उसका आयोजन भी हम इकट्ठे कर सकते हैं। तो हमारे जो सामरिक हित हैं वो उसका अभिसरण हम इंडो पैसिफिक तक जाता है, क्योंकि हमारे एक ही दृष्टिकोण है इसके बारे में। हम आधिपत्य से लड़ना चाहते हैं। हम हमारे सशस्त्र बल नियमित बातचीत कर रहे हैं और पूरी योगदान कर रहे हैं ताकि जो शांति है और सुरक्षा है इस क्षेत्र में बनाई रहे और अंतर्राष्ट्रीय कानून का सम्मान रहे। ये जो सामरिक आत्मीयता है हमारे दोनों देशों के बीच में, वो ठोस रूप ले रही है नए योजनाओं के साथ, खासकर जो आर्थिक योजनाएं हम इकट्ठे कर रहे हैं। भारत आज दूसरे सबसे बड़ा हमारा साझेदार है एशिया में। हमने नए कार्य क्षेत्र ढूंढे हैं, जैसे कि स्टील, अंतरिक्ष, ऊर्जा, सिविल न्यूक्लियर और टेक्नोलॉजी। ये जो नया स्थिति है जिसकी ओर हम अपनी द्विपक्षीय साझेदारी को ले जा रहे हैं, वो सिर्फ उन महिलाओं और पुरुषों की वजह से बना पाएंगे जो रोजाना इन संबंधों को जीते हैं, और उनमें से कई सारे आज रात के डिनर पर हमारे साथ आएंगे। और फिर हम युवा पीढ़ी को नहीं भूल सकते, क्योंकि भारत और फ्रांस में युवा ही आगे भविष्य की फ्रांस की छवि भारत में और भारत की छवि फ्रांस में उसको नया रुख देगी और उसको पुनर्निर्मित करेगी। 2025 में हमने सोचा था कि 20,000 फ्रांस के स्टूडेंट्स भारत तक पहुंचाएंगे, और कोविड के बावजूद हम इस लक्ष्य को पा पाए हैं। और हम समझते हैं कि यहाँ से 2030 तक 30,000 ऐसे स्टूडेंट्स को भेजेंगे और हमारे प्रयास इसकी ओर जाएंगे। और हम चाहते हैं कि जो युवा भारतीय फ्रांस में पढ़ने के निर्णय लेते हैं उनको आगे भी वहाँ अपने दिल के करीबी देश के में आने का मौका दिया जाना चाहिए। इसलिए हम अपना वीजा की नीति भी उसके अनुकूल बनाएंगे ताकि वो ये कड़ी बनाए रखे। हम चाहते हैं कि जो कोऑपरेशन शिक्षा के क्षेत्र में हो रहा है वो संस्कृति के क्षेत्र में भी बढ़ाएं, ताकि संगीत, डांस और बाकी जो सांस्कृतिक क्षेत्र हैं उसमें भी साझा काम कर पाएं। और हम संग्रहालय विशेषज्ञता को साझा करना चाहते हैं, क्योंकि हमारे पास ये विशेषज्ञता है, क्योंकि 2047 में आप अपने शताब्दी महोत्सव मनाएंगे और इसके लिए हमने एक मानचित्र बनाया है। एक बार फिर आपको धन्यवाद देना चाहूँगा कि आप हमारे साथ यहाँ पर फ्रांस में आए इस खास दिन के लिए, और जो 14 जुलाई की जो परेड है उसमें आपके जो आर्म्ड फोर्सेस जिन्होंने भाग लिया है उनको भी धन्यवाद देना चाहूँगा।
और मेरे प्रिय मित्र राष्ट्रपति मैक्रो, दोनों देशों के डेलीगेट्स, मीडिया के साथियों, नमस्कार। पेरिस जैसे खूबसूरत शहर में इस गर्मजोशी भरे स्वागत के लिए मैं राष्ट्रपति मैक्रो का आभार प्रकट करता हूं। फ्रांस के लोगों को राष्ट्रीय दिवस के लिए बहुत बहुत शुभकामनाएं भी देता हूं। यह दिवस विश्व में लिबर्टी, इक्वालिटी और फ्रेटर्निटी जैसे मूल्यों का प्रतीक माना जाता है। ये मूल्य हमारे दो लोकतांत्रिक देशों के संबंधों का भी एक महत्वपूर्ण आधार है। आज मुझे इस उत्सव में मुख्य अतिथि के रूप में शामिल होने का गौरव मिला। मुझे खुशी है कि इस अवसर की शोभा और गरिमा बढ़ाने के लिए भारत की तीनों सेनाओं की टुकड़ियों ने भाग लिया। भारतीय राफेल एयरक्राफ्ट का फ्लाई पास भी हम सब ने देखा। हमारी नौसेना का जहाज भी फ्रांस के पोर्ट पर मौजूद था, यानी जल, थल, नभ हमारे बढ़ते सहयोग की एक शानदार तस्वीर हमें एक साथ देखने को मिली। कल राष्ट्रपति मैक्रोन ने मुझे फ्रांस के सर्वश्रेष्ठ राष्ट्रीय पुरस्कार से सम्मानित किया। ये सम्मान 140 करोड़ भारतवासियों का सम्मान है। फ्रेंड्स, हम अपनी स्ट्रेटेजिक पार्टनरशिप की 25वीं वर्षगांठ मना रहे हैं। बीते 25 वर्षों के मजबूत आधार पर हम आने वाले 25 वर्षों के लिए रोड मैप तैयार कर रहे हैं। इसमें बोल्ड और महत्वाकांक्षी लक्ष्य निर्धारित किए जा रहे हैं। भारत के लोगों ने भी इस कालखंड में एक विकसित देश बनाने का संकल्प लिया है। इस यात्रा में हम फ्रांस को एक नेचुरल पार्टनर के रूप में देखते हैं। 2 दिनों में हमें आपसी सहयोग के सभी क्षेत्रों पर विस्तार से बात करने का अवसर मिल रहा है। आर्थिक संबंधों को और सुदृढ़ करना हमारी साझा प्राथमिकता है। रिन्यूएबल एनर्जी, ग्रीन हाइड्रोजन, आर्टिफिशियल इंटेलिजेंस, सेमीकंडक्टर्स, साइबर, डिजिटल टेक्नोलॉजी जैसे अनेक क्षेत्रों में सहयोग बढ़ाने के लिए हम नए इनिशिएटिव्स की पहचान कर रहे हैं। भारत के यूपीआई यानी यूनिफाइड पेमेंट्स इंटरफेस को फ्रांस में लॉन्च करने पर समझौता हुआ है। हम दोनों देशों के स्टार्टअप और इनोवेशन इकोसिस्टम को आपस में जोड़ने पर बल दे रहे हैं। समान विचारधारा वाले देशों के साथ मिलकर हमें टेक्नोलॉजी सप्लाई चेन्स के लोकतंत्रीकरण के लिए लगातार काम करना चाहिए। क्लाइमेट चेंज और पर्यावरण सुरक्षा हमारी साझा और मुख्य प्राथमिकता रही है। इस दिशा में हमने पहले ही इंटरनेशनल सोलर अलायंस स्थापित किया था, जो अब एक मूवमेंट बन गया है। अब हम ब्लू इकोनॉमी और ओशन गवर्नेंस के रोड मैप पर तेजी से काम करना चाहते हैं। सिंगल यूज प्लास्टिक के खिलाफ हम एक साझा पहल पर आगे बढ़ेंगे। इंडियन ऑयल और फ्रांस की टोटल कंपनी में एलएनजी के निर्यात के लिए जो लॉन्ग टर्म एग्रीमेंट हुआ है, मैं उसका स्वागत है। इससे हमारे क्लीन एनर्जी ट्रांजिशन के लक्ष्यों को बल मिलेगा। अब से कुछ देर बाद हम भारत फ्रांस सीईओज फोरम में भी हिस्सा लेने वाले हैं। दोनों देशों के बिजनेस प्रतिनिधियों के साथ आर्थिक सहयोग मजबूत करने पर विस्तार से चर्चा होगी। फ्रेंड्स, रक्षा सहयोग हमारे संबंधों का एक मूलभूत स्तंभ रहा है। यह दोनों देशों के बीच गहरे आपसी विश्वास का प्रतीक है। मेक इन इंडिया और आत्मनिर्भर भारत, इसमें फ्रांस एक अहम पार्टनर है। आज हम रक्षा के क्षेत्र में भारत में नई टेक्नोलॉजी के को प्रोडक्शन और को डेवलपमेंट पर बात करेंगे। सबमरीन हो या फिर नौसेना के जहाज, हम चाहते हैं कि मिलकर केवल अपनी ही नहीं, तीसरे मित्र देशों की जरूरतों को भी पूरा करने के लिए हम काम करें। हमारी डिफेंस स्पेस एजेंसीज के बीच सहयोग बढ़ाने की संभावनाएं हैं। फ्रांस की कंपनियों द्वारा एमआरओ फैसिलिटीज, स्पेयर पार्ट्स, हेलीकॉप्टर के लिए इंजन का प्रोडक्शन भी भारत में किए जाने पर हम आगे बढ़ रहे हैं। हम इसमें हमारे सहयोग को और सशक्त करने पर बल देंगे। सिविल न्यूक्लियर क्षेत्र में सहयोग को आगे बढ़ाते हुए हम स्मॉल एंड एडवांस मॉड्यूलर रिएक्टर्स में सहयोग की संभावना पर चर्चा करेंगे। आज भारत में चंद्रयान के सफल लॉन्च पर पूरा भारत उत्साहित है। यह हमारे वैज्ञानिकों की बहुत बड़ी उपलब्धि है। अंतरिक्ष के क्षेत्र में भारत और फ्रांस का पुराना और गहरा सहयोग है। हमारी स्पेस एजेंसीज के बीच नए समझौते हुए हैं। इसमें सैटेलाइट लॉन्च सर्विसेज, समुद्र और धरती के तापमान और वातावरण को मॉनिटर करने के लिए तृष्णा सैटेलाइट बनाने का काम शामिल है। स्पेस बेस्ड मैरीटाइम डोमेन अवेयरनेस जैसे क्षेत्रों में भी हम अपना सहयोग बढ़ा सकते हैं। फ्रेंड्स, भारत और फ्रांस के बीच लंबे समय से गहरे पीपल टू पीपल कांटेक्ट रहे हैं। हमारी आज की चर्चाओं से ये संबंध और मजबूत होंगे। हम फ्रांस के दक्षिण में मार्से शहर में नया भारतीय कॉन्सुलेट खोलेंगे। फ्रांस में पढ़े हुए भारतीय मूल के लोगों के लिए लॉन्ग टर्म वीजा देने के निर्णय का हम स्वागत करते हैं। हम फ्रांस के विश्वविद्यालयों को भारत में अपने कैंपस स्थापित करने के लिए आमंत्रित करते हैं। दिल्ली में बनाए जाने वाले नए राष्ट्रीय म्यूजियम में फ्रांस एक पार्टनर के रूप में जुड़ रहा है। अगले वर्ष पेरिस में होने वाले ओलंपिक्स के लिए सभी भारतीय एथलीट्स बहुत ही उत्सुक हैं। इसके सफल आयोजन के लिए मैं राष्ट्रपति मैक्रो और उनकी पूरी टीम को शुभकामनाएं देता हूं। फ्रेंड्स, आज हम कई महत्वपूर्ण क्षेत्रीय और वैश्विक मुद्दों पर भी चर्चा करेंगे। इंडो पैसिफिक के रेजिडेंट पावर्स के रूप में इस क्षेत्र में शांति और स्थिरता के लिए भारत और फ्रांस की विशेष जिम्मेदारी है। हमारे सहयोग को एक रचनात्मक स्वरूप देने के लिए हम इंडो पैसिफिक कोऑपरेशन रोडमैप पर काम कर रहे हैं। इंडो पैसिफिक ट्रायंगुलर डेवलपमेंट कोऑपरेशन फंड के प्रस्ताव पर भी दोनों पक्ष में चर्चा में है। इससे पूरे क्षेत्र में स्टार्टअप्स और इनोवेशन को बढ़ावा देने के नए अवसर खुलेंगे। भारत के इंडो पैसिफिक ओशन इनिशिएटिव्स में फ्रांस द्वारा मैरीटाइम रिसोर्स पिलर को लीड करने के निर्णय का हम स्वागत करते हैं। फ्रेंड्स, कोविड महामारी और यूक्रेन संघर्ष के प्रभाव पूरे विश्व पर पड़े हैं। ग्लोबल साउथ के देशों पर इनका विशेष रूप से नकारात्मक प्रभाव पड़ा है। यह चिंता का विषय है। इन समस्याओं के समाधान के लिए सभी देशों का एकजुट होकर प्रयास करना आवश्यक है। हमारा मानना है कि सभी विवादों का समाधान डायलॉग और डिप्लोमेसी के माध्यम से होना चाहिए। भारत स्थायी शांति की बहाली में योगदान देने के लिए तैयार है। आतंकवाद के विरुद्ध लड़ाई में भारत और फ्रांस हमेशा साथ रहे हैं। हम मानते हैं कि क्रॉस बॉर्डर टेररिज्म को समाप्त करने के लिए ठोस कार्रवाई की आवश्यकता है। इस दिशा में सहयोग बढ़ाने पर दोनों देश सहमत है। राष्ट्रपति मैक्रो इस वर्ष G20 समिट के दौरान आपका भारत में स्वागत करने के लिए मैं और सभी भारतवासी बहुत ही उत्सुक हैं। एक बार फिर आपकी मित्रता और मुझे दिए गए आदर सत्कार के लिए मैं आपका बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद करता हूं।
Thank you, Mr. Prime Minister.
Well, that was the joint briefing of Prime Minister Modi and President Macron. In fact, Prime Minister Modi calling the relationship between India and France as a natural relationship which has been built on values for several years put together. On the other side, the big debate with Editor-in-Chief Arnab Goswami.
Liftoff normal.
Chandrayaan 3 blasts off to the moon.
Prestigious Chandrayaan 3 spacecraft. P2 tracking.
Vajra Congress appropriates ISRO legacy. What's Nehru got to do with Chandrayaan 3? Debating tonight at 9 p.m.
That's away from launch. Mark and counting.
4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
Liftoff normal.
Here we have a majestic liftoff of LTM-3 M4 rocket carrying India's prestigious Chandrayaan 3 spacecraft.
ये जो पानी है कानपुर साइड एक नहर जाती है तो इसमें ये डाइवर्ट किया जा सकता है। सारा पानी दिल्ली की तरफ जा रहा है।
जहाँ तक पानी छोड़ने की बात है, ये हमने केजरीवाल जी को बताया भी है कि ये पानी वहाँ बैराज है, वो कोई डैम नहीं है। डैम पर पानी को रोका जाता है, बैराज पर पानी रोका नहीं जाता है।
Unmissable political face-off over Delhi floods. AAP says BJP avenging Delhi loss by causing floods. Arnab debates at 10 p.m.
We do what no other network does.
We sting like no other network stings.
We confront those who no other network can.
We fight back like no other network can.
We go where no other network goes. We've endured what no other network has endured.
We ask what no other network asks.
Digital first, nation first, republic first. Digital first like nothing else. On your TV, on any screen, Republic TV News Channel is now streaming on We app.
From the Mumbai studios of Republic TV, it's time for Arnab Goswami on the debate.
Arnab Goswami on the debate at 9. Presented by Amity University. Powered by RP Sanjeev Goenka Group. The new Kia Seltos, Century Ply and Epson Eco Tank Printers. Co-powered by Sera.
Good evening and welcome, viewers. The amazing pictures this afternoon when we watched Chandrayaan 3 blast into space. Little did we imagine that these visuals, that this super proud moment, this incredible achievement, this awe-inspiring moment of India's heaviest ever rocket, the LVN-3 launch vehicle